What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm making a quick video because I wanted to update you guys on something I talked about yesterday in my video, and something we've obviously talked about a lot recently, and that's an update to Xavien Howard's situation. Before I do give you the update, though, I want to just clarify because I talked about it in the little roundup of information and topics that I wanted to talk about in my video yesterday, and I read or I had found an article talking about it. The headline and like the first paragraph, to be fair and to be clear, I didn't read the whole thing before deciding to put that into my mix, and so part of it was read live as I was doing the video. And anyway, so because of the headline, because of how the headline was framed, etc., and like the first paragraph that I read, it made it seem like there was additional information and things had developed, but it wasn't. It just kind of left us a little bit more confused, but we do have some actual clarification now and some additional information to that story. And that is that the charges have apparently been dropped on Xavien Howard, which is obviously good news. If I'm being honest, I feel like there's probably a little bit of wealthy person / prominent key player for a major organization, sports franchise, bias or, privilege there, rather, I guess. Who knows? Especially now, we have to wait and see, though, because there can still be NFL punishment or punishment from the NFL. My guess is they'll probably do something like a 4-game suspension. He'll appeal it, and then get it down to like 2 or something like that. And the Dolphins haven't said anything about any kind of discipline on their end. Again, if they don't discipline him, and he definitely should be, it's not, he did something that's unacceptable, and he seemed remorseful and everything, but you still need to take your lumps. And so the charges have been dropped. So there's that. He's not being punished legally. We don't know yet if the Dolphins are going to punish him. And we'll have to wait and see what happens with the NFL. But if the Dolphins don't do anything, and if all he ends up getting is like a game or 2 suspension, if I'm being honest, I don't think that's enough. I think he needs to get the kind of punishment, or some kind of punishment that warrants the crime, so to speak, right? It's it is a crime, assault or whatever, but it wasn't it wasn't like, again, it was different from Mark Walton's, because he actually punched her. Mark Walton did, whereas he just grabbed her by the arm and pushed her. It is a varying, they are assault to varying degrees, but they made, they set a standard with Mark Walton and said that this kind of stuff is not acceptable. Now we know the NFL in general is very wishy-washy on that. They've seen star players overcome that with, little trouble and issue, unless they continue to do it. Now, hopefully, he does remain, out of trouble and doesn't get his hands dirty again, so to speak, and has learned from it and can move on from it. And hopefully, it doesn't impact him as far as, being a player for the Dolphins. Right now, when I say punishment, even from the Dolphins, I definitely think he should have some, suspension time. I would say probably 4 to 6 games, honestly, would be fair, with no, reduction after appeal. He can appeal if he wants to, but I wouldn't, I would be like, no, you need to take your lumps, and, and maybe some pay as well, right? Some pay taken back, right? Maybe some of that guaranteed money or whatever, right? He needs to, but I don't want to see him, leave either. And as long as he can stay out of trouble, I want to see him be a part of the Dolphins long term, of course. So, you know, it still is a tricky situation going forward, and we'll have to see how it all plays out as far as further punishment goes. But overall, it's definitely good news that the charges were dropped. Although, again, to be perfectly objective and fair, I don't think that they should have. I mean, he should have at least gotten something, you know, some community service or something, for fuck's sake, right? But, you know, it is what it is. And, but, you know, overall, it's good news. And as long as he can just, you know, stay out of trouble and not, you know, do anything like that ever again, then we can go for it, and hopefully it all just will smooth over and, you know, not be an issue. Aside from that, you know, he does have his knee stuff going on, so we'll have to monitor that as well. But hopefully this ends up, you know, ends on a positive note and stays that way. So, you know, we'll have to see. But anyway, like I said, I just wanted to update you guys on that really quick. And so with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoy my videos and my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my videos and channel with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.